Puerto Rico has faced a scary animal problem before Hurricane Maria even hit. However, since the hurricane, the issue has worsened.
Noticias WUFT's Claudia Perez Brito is here to tell us why the problem has continued to evolve.
Animals are something we're accustomed to seeing either in zoos, on farms, or in our homes. We don't think of them as roaming the streets on their own, but in Puerto Rico, that's exactly the reality.
Walking down a street in a Puerto Rican neighborhood, you might stumble upon a piglet and its mother rummaging through trash. It seems unusual, but for residents, it's normal seeing pigs, dogs, cats, and in some places, even horses on the streets. Puerto Rico has always dealt with the stray animal crisis, but Hurricane Maria created a major exodus, which in return intensified the animal abandonment problem.
Después de la tormenta se agravó la situación.
Ana Victoria Pardo has dedicated almost 20 years of her life to feeding stray dogs in Vega Baja. Every day, she drives out to different locations to leave them food and water. Her work isn't applauded by some, but her response is that if she doesn't feed them, who will? Puerto Rico's government, in conjunction with the Humane Society of the United States, addressed this large-scale issue by beginning the Spay-a-thon for Puerto Rico initiative this year, in hopes of sterilizing 20,000 animals in low-income neighborhoods. But despite these efforts, Pardo believes more should be done.
Primero, una esterilización en masa. Primero. Y segundo, pues las leyes más fuertes, multar a la gente, porque si no, la gente no les importa. La gente sigue tirando los animales. Enfermos, no les importa que estén enfermos, los tiran.
Claribel Pizarro is the executive assistant in charge of volunteer and educational programs at the Humane Society in Puerto Rico. She says that after the hurricane, the amount of dogs they began receiving increased, while adoptions have gone down.
You see someone that leaves tomorrow the island and bring their dog or their cat here today, you have to keep it. You have to take it because I am leaving tomorrow. Why? Why I have that responsibility? I don't have it. You have it because it's yours.
The Humane Society is a no-kill shelter, so when they reach their limit of 100 animals, they can't accept any more. But that doesn't stop some people from releasing their animals to fend for themselves or tying them to the front of the building. When the latter occurs, they are forced to take them in. Pizarro says that educating people is crucial in order to help alleviate the problem, but it's also the hardest part of their job.
It seems that you never get that thinking to the people. It's a matter of feeling, of thinking, of values. I don't know how to explain. But for me, that is the most difficult thing to teach, to say, because it's my people. I am Puerto Rican, and this is my people that are doing that, and it hurts.
Pizarro hopes that the Spay-a-thon and all the help U.S. organizations have lent will somehow aid to stabilize the animal population, not just in shelters but on the streets.
We don't want them to live here. We want them to have a home, to have their family.
A family that for hundreds of animals will never come as long as they are on the island.
Puerto Rico's animal welfare is still currently being overlooked by the Humane Society of the U.S. as the spay-a-thon continues. The first round resulted in 5,000 animals being spayed. The next 3 rounds will take place between November and May of 2019. Claudia Perez Brito, WUFT News.
Whether by plane or by cruise, Puerto Rico has always been popular when it comes to tourism. With its beaches and the flavor of its culture, Puerto Rico doesn't fail to bring joy to those who visit it. However, tourism changed after the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria. One of the main places to visit the island, Old San Juan, was highly affected.
WUFT's Alexis Howard shows us how the tourism industry is recovering after a devastating blow.
Right now, I eat 1 time a day,
as opposed to 3 times a day before Hurricane Maria. This is how Carlos Bonet Vargas, owner of a small book shack in the streets of Old San Juan, reminisces after losing everything as a result of the storm. Even now, a year later, small businesses like Carlos's bookstand still find themselves struggling from this natural disaster.
We still hurt because it's about 40, maybe 50% less tourism than before we used to had.
About an hour east of Old San Juan in Fajardo, Luis Mendez, owner of Yokahu Kayaks, recognizes this struggle is very familiar and claims from these two business owners didn't seem far-fetched. Walking through the streets of Old San Juan or along the dock of Fajardo's bioluminescent bay, most areas were desolate, not a single soul in sight. Despite the apparent decrease in activity, the governor of the island believes tourism is doing just fine.
Business is back on its feet. Tourism is even higher than it was before the storm.
Contradictions between the experiences of these business owners and what the governor said sparked our curiosity. We needed statistics from the Puerto Rico Tourism Company to see exactly who was right. Carla Campos, the company's director, painted an even different scenario.
No, we are on track to being able to leverage an opportunity. But as I mentioned and cited some of those numbers, we're still in the process of recovering fully.
Despite the fact that tourism may not be at its best, local business owners are hopeful that they will overcome this hurdle and Puerto Rico will soon return to being visitors' favorite Caribbean getaway.
We have beautiful beach, we have beautiful places, gastronomy, good restaurants, etc. So I trust in our island. I trust that tourism will be back.
We Puerto Rican always survive. I have been surviving for years. And always people are coming here because for us, for the people, for the beach, for the food, for the music.
These and many more are all the attributes that make Puerto Rico the island of enchantment. Alexis Howard, WUFT News.
There's a life before and after Hurricane Maria for everyone who experienced the catastrophe in Puerto Rico.
But experiences like this help people come together. The people of Puerto Rico worked together in the aftermath of the hurricane. They cleaned the streets so others could have access to their families, and those who could cook would help feed others who didn't have enough. Little kids were no longer on their iPads. They were outside playing with their neighbors and even helped the adults with cleaning. Puerto Ricans are fighters, and they continue to maintain their faith strong.
Thank you for tuning in tonight.
For more on Life After Maria, please visit www.lifeaftermaria.org.
Have a good night.